Good evening. Keith, thank you so much for joining us tonight. What an evening, the first in this year, in the new decade, and what a way to start. A brilliant, fantastic lineup of speakers, including yourself, and an amazing opportunity for us to celebrate you guys. Just for our audience, could you introduce yourself and what do you do?
Sure, well first, thanks so much for having me. I'm Keith Grose, I'm the head of the UK for Plaid. I think for those that aren't familiar, Plaid is an API platform that allows users to connect their bank accounts to fintech applications. And we had really exciting news this week with our acquisition by Visa. And so we're excited to move forward with that and empower more innovators around the globe and here in the UK. And it was great to talk about that and talk about the open banking community tonight here with the OBE.
When we talk about open banking adoption, what has been achieved in your opinion?
Yeah, I think we're at a stage where it's actually really impressive what the UK has done regarding the adoption of open banking. In particular, the OBIE creating a standard has done huge things by allowing actually like standardized APIs that everyone can connect to, that all TPPs can use. And so I think we're in that stage where now the building blocks are there. And so what's missing now is just the future of adoption. I think that's going to come from more use cases, more innovation, more access across end users. And so I'm looking forward to that happening in 2020. I think it's going to be the year and the decade where you're going to see a lot of changes in financial services, in banking. I think open banking is going to become a core part of that. So we're really excited to be here, to be embedded with the OBE and others and be part of this community, because I think you can feel that it's a little bit of the heartbeat of the changes that are going to come to finance for end users here. And I'm excited to see it happen in London.
Sounds amazing. So you refer to the UK and what has been, achieved here, which is great. Yeah. So the UK has been setting the tone for the rest of the world, which is really great. However, some people would say that actually so far these have been baby steps. So how do we get the baby walking, in your opinion?
Yeah, I think I would echo that. As I said, I think we're at the building block stage, and so I think there are a few things that need to change. One is we need to make it easier for companies to innovate and access these APIs. It's something that Plaid is really passionate about, but things like making sure there's regulatory regimes that can help startups get authorized and get access and test out these APIs and test out new use cases. I think we need access to more data. So people call this open finance, but really, why shouldn't you be able to, as a user, access your mortgage data and take it into an aggregator and figure out, could I be getting better mortgage rates somewhere else? I think same thing with pensions. So I think you're going to start to see this expansion from just current accounts and open banking data to open finance. I think that will really help with adoption as well. And then finally, I think you just need more scale, right? So this has been an order that predominantly started with the CMA9, and now you're starting to see other banks adopt it. And as you see that both expand within the UK and to other parts of Europe, you're going to start to see this become something that becomes natural, becomes part of life. And so it's just a period of time, I think, before users are going to be able to access all sorts of amazing new financial services just from their phone.
Sounds amazing. I know I really hope it's not too futuristic, but actually it's the near future for us. So talking about just the near future, 2020. So what kind of innovative and exciting products should we be expecting this year?
I think there are two in particular that I'm pretty excited about. One is I think we're going to start to see changes in the lending space. So I think both on the SME lending side and on the personal lending side, you're going to see a world where people who were traditionally unable to get loans from banks or were underserved, be it gig economy workers or small businesses that were just starting or somebody who just moved here from another country, be able to prove who they are and why they're creditworthy with their transaction data. And so I think that's going to open up a whole new world of banking for the underserved. I think the second thing is you're probably going to see the adoption and the first sort of public appearances of payment initiation and the PIS APIs, which has been actually strangely the smaller part of open banking thus far. I think it's because it's just been too nascent for that market, and so I think it's going to come and develop now. And I think 2020 is going to be one of those years where you see that start to hit the market.
That's Absolutely amazing. Kind of watch this space for our audience, for our community. I'm talking about the open banking excellence community. So how can we support that wider sort of open banking adoption and what some people are now referring to open finance?
Yeah, well, I think the biggest thing is an example of what happened tonight, which is bring people with different mentalities from different parts of the industry and allow them to have healthy debates and questions and answers and figure out what are all the different perspectives in the room and how do we come up with solutions that are going to address all the problems. And so I think it's easy in an ecosystem like this in financial services where there are so many different players to develop very siloed schools of thought and rooms and clubs. And what I really like about what the OBE has built here is it's a community with a ton of different perspectives. I think that's going to be increasingly important as you try to address some of these edge cases and use cases to get more adoption. You're going to have everybody pulling in the same direction. And I think it's discussions like this that help get people all on the same page.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Keith. Thank you for joining us tonight. You did an amazing job. Thank you.